Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm going to show you guys something that I have not seen in a while. Okay, I have not seen a carry handle on top of one of my AR-15s for a very long time. And the reason why I ended up putting this on here, right, is because this AR here, this is, by the way, this is a Palmetto. Um, Basically, when I originally bought this upper, it had this plastic handguard here. And the problem with the plastic handguard that I found is that I just couldn't mount things on it. Like I couldn't put a light on it, or if I wanted to, attach a bipod to this, right? I couldn't put a bipod on this. So that was the issue I had with the plastic guard on the AR-15. And initially, I had the idea of, hey, let me find a rail that will fit onto the bayonet lug over here, and that would allow me to either attach a light or attach a bipod. At the time, and this is probably going back about 3 years ago, okay, I couldn't find one. Okay, so the next best thing was, hey, let's get a quad rail. Okay, so I got the quad rail. Now here's the thing: this is a 9-inch plastic guard. Right, so the quad rail, 9 inches long, weighs a pound. So this adds a significant weight to that gun. So anyway, I kept it there for about 3 years. I was having fun shooting it. I do have a couple of other ARs that have the A2 post, but those have a 6-inch guard. So when I put the quad rail on those with the 6-inch quad rails, it wasn't so awkward. But the 9-inch quad rail on this particular AR, I just found it very awkward. So recently, somebody said, hey, actually somebody that was training at a range showed up with a rail, a bayonet lug rail over here. I'm like, that's really cool. Where did you get that? And they said, well, you can get it at Botac. And that's really awesome. I'm like, I haven't, I didn't think anybody was going to make these things again. So I got this little bayonet lug that would fit here, and that gave me, actually goes into the back, goes there, and then you use a little Allen key, tighten this up. Did I go all the way? No, I think I didn't go all the way. Nope, I know what I did. Get this back out, put it backwards. That's got going like this. There he goes. Now that'll lock in place. There you go. All right, so now I've got a lug here that I can attach a light if I want to. Okay, and that's like great. Now I can take off that quad rail. So that's the reason why the quad rail came off of this gun. And then when I had the plastic on there, I'm like, you know what? Let's put a carry handle on here, right? Let's go completely retro with this thing. So that's what I did. I put the carry handle here. I took off the red dot that was on this. Now this carry handle that's on here came from my Colt. Okay, my Colt's already set up with again. That's got the 6-inch quad rail on it, so that's okay. So I decided to leave that on there. It's already set up with a light, with a pressure switch. So I didn't want to mess with that gun. I brought the carry handle. I put it on here. Now, this one over here, it has these big bolts over here to attach the carry handle to the Picatinny rail, right? So this carry handle attaches on the Picatinny rail. You can actually see it over here. Only thing I don't like about this is these gigantic bolts over here. If at some point I find smaller nuts that will go on here, maybe with an Allen key that'll tighten up, I'll get those and I'll replace these big bolts because they look kind of weird on there. So anyway, so today, I mean, I've had this on here for a few days, and today I said, hey, let's try a little bit of distance shooting. So initially, I started out with Tula, right? Just cheap old Tula over here. And mind you, I haven't shot these type of sights specifically with the carry handle with the A2 post in at least 3 years at this point. So I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to hit the target at 100 yards. So basically, I use the 25-yard zero. Now, I zeroed in at 25 yards, which is just in front of those rims over there. The reason why I use the 25-yard zero instead of the 50-yard zero that I normally use is because these there's a basically you do your elevation adjustment from the front over here and your windage adjustment from the back, but then there's another rotating knob over here to adjust for yardage. Okay, so when it's all the way down, right, you use a 25-yard zero, your second zero should be at 300 yards, and that's why if you look over here, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this in the camera so well. It says, let's see if I can get a focus. Where are you? There you go, right there. You can see it says 6-3. Okay, so and then as you rotate this around, right? See, now you can see the 4. So you can focus, if you can focus. Then you rotate some more. That brings you to a 5, right? There's your 5. And then if you come all the way around, that brings you all the way back around. And now you're at 6. But look how high you are up here. You see how that's moved up, right? As opposed to when I roll this down back to that first position. You see how it goes back down? All right, so right there, it's set for the 300-yard zero, okay? So the reason why I decided to zero this thing at 25 yards is because I wanted this range adjustment up here to be accurate, okay, to work. Now, normally, if I had just bought this carry handle from like Amazon or eBay, one of those places, I wouldn't trust it so much to be accurate. However, this came on my Colt, so that's why I have a little bit of confidence that that this may actually work out, and I look forward to actually testing that out at a different range where I have a lot more distance to shoot at. So that's the reason why I decided to use the 25-yard zero. So I took this out to 100 yards today, and first I started off with the Tula, right? Because I said, you know what, let me just use some cheap ammo here because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get on the paper. Okay, I haven't shot these type of sights in so long. And basically, for those of you not aware, you got a circle in the back, basically your ghost ring. The post over here, you match them up like that, right? So that's what you're looking for. So I shot this with the Tula, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised. Now, my point of aim here, like my post, was at the bottom of the paper, right? Because here's the thing, with the 25-yard zero, at 100 yards, I'm going to be about 10 to 12 inches high. And let's see where I'm at. Yeah, I came in about 10 inches high over here. Now that's with the Tula. If I was using, let's say, a faster bullet, if I was using because this is 55 grains, if I was using, because Tula tends to be about 100 feet per second slower. If I was using anything other than Tula in 55 grains, I would probably be another 2 inches higher. So I would be about 12 inches high. So my group with Tula, okay, now this one over here, I'm pretty sure that was just bad ammo because I know I didn't lower my post that much. I didn't throw it off that much. So I mean, the total grouping with Tula, including that bad round, is 5 inches between the furthest two shots, okay? Now, if we discount this one here, which I'm pretty sure was due to bad ammo, or worst case scenario, you know, I pulled it. I've got a 2.5 inch group with Tula. So I think that's like, wow, okay, I really wasn't expecting to get a 2.5 inch cluster with those iron sights using Tula. And I said, you know what, this has proven itself. Let's get out some good ammo. So I got out the Sierra Match King. Okay, I just recently got this. You're gonna see me doing a lot of testing with this. So I took this out. And now this time I'm gonna explain to you guys why I ended up in this corner over here. But the total group is 2.5 inches with no flyers. Now 2.5 inches, and I have a 4-shot cluster here that is 1.5 inches. Okay, 1.5 inches. Okay, so what happened here? Something definitely happened here to make this group shift up into this corner over here versus this group over here, which is more centered. Okay, so when I was shooting that group, right, like I said, this is what I'm seeing, right? That's my ghost ring in the back. Okay, that's my post, right? And I'm putting this at the top, at the bottom of the paper, so I get that 10-inch rise. Okay. And by the way, if you notice that the Sierra Match King, what are these? These are 77 grains. The 77 grain Sierra Match Kings and the 55 grain Tulas are both about in the same position, about 10 inches high. Okay, this one might be just maybe an inch higher. Actually, this looks like it's 12 inches high. You see from the bottom of the paper, the center of the groove. No, it's 10 inches high. 11, actually 11. It went 1 inch higher. But what's happening here? The Tula is 100 feet per second slower, okay, than your typical 55 grain. Okay, the Sierra Match King is a 77 grain bullet. So these two factors canceled each other out. Okay, so the 55 grain slower Tula came in at the same, at the same elevation as the heavier 77 grain Sierra Match King. Okay, so that explains why these are at about the same height. Okay, now as far as when I was aiming, okay, the first time that I was aiming with the Tula, I made a conscious effort. There's my ghost ring in the back. Okay, and these over here are the little bunny ears, right? The front sight post protectors. Okay, these things over here. Right, you see the front sight post protectors here? So I made a really conscious effort. To anchor them equally on the ghost ring and make sure I had this equal amount of white space on the sides of those little bunny ears. Okay. The second time I shot it, which was this time over here, so the first time I kind of came centered. The second time I shot it, I kind of just like naturally centered it in the center of the ghost ring, but I didn't make that conscious effort to make sure I had the equal amount of light on the side of the little bunny ears over here. And that's why I ended up shifting my point of aim slightly to the right. So for accuracy shooting, you gotta basically use your bunny ears to, make sure you got an equal amount of light on the bunny ears. Make sure everything is, use that. Don't just use your front sight post in the center of your ghost ring. Also use the bunny ears to make sure everything is centered up, and then this way you can shoot consistently. Okay, so I think that's really cool. With the iron sights here, I managed to get a total group of 2.5 inches with a cluster of 1.5 inches. Now, mind you guys, I don't have really good eyes. Okay, first of all, when I'm at 100 yards, that front sight post takes up the entire 8 inches going across. Okay, so the front sight post is actually from here to here. Okay, and I measured this with the calipers. I'm going to go into a different video on why I measured this with the calipers, but that's like a 0.07 of an inch wide. So that went from here to here. Okay, and it's important to know the width of your front sight post for doing wind adjustments. So you can use your front sight post to do both wind adjustments and to do range estimation. Well, I'm going to do a completely different video on that because we're going to get into a whole bunch of different details on that. So what I wanted to talk about in this video is using your iron sights on your AR to do precision shots. And I wanted to show you what happens if you don't use your bunny ears to make sure that you're centered inside of the gun of the ghost ring. You're going to be slightly off. Now, obviously, I'm still on the paper. I'm still, well within a man-sized target. But slightly off over here. So I think that's really cool. I think this is really cool the way this worked out. And like I said, I got so many ARs that have rails on them and have red dots on them. So I said, let's take this one over here and let's make this one retro, so I have something to practice with. Now I got something else to show you guys that I think is really cool. This carry handle here, right? It's not meant for you to carry the gun. Okay. If you notice that there's a hole over here, this was meant to carry your optic. Okay. Yes, this in the Vietnam era. This is the type of scope that went on top of an AR-15/M16. So let's show you guys how this goes on. Now, unlike, like I said, this carry handle here came off of a Colt. This one over here is like a cheap Chinese copy. So I don't know how good this is going to be, but this also does have range adjustments on it. So you can see it has, like, you can set it to 1, 200 yards, 300 yards, 400 yards, 500 yards. Inside here is basically just a simple duplex. It's got a duplex reticle. Well, it's a 4-power. I don't think you guys are gonna be able to see it, but yeah, it's a 4-power. You might have got a glimpse of it. There it is. So it's got a simple duplex reticle. This should have had mil dots in it. In fact, the directions that came with this scope have instructions for using the mil dots. However, this scope doesn't have mil dots in the reticle. So I think I got this for something like $55 or something like that. But here's the thing, I'm not against buying cheap things because it gives you a chance to try things out and see if it's for you or not for you. And it's also really good for demonstration purpose. So the way that goes is that sits in there. And then you take this, that goes in from the bottom. Let me see if I can get this thing to, yeah, give me a second to rest this. So get this on. By the way, I hope you guys don't mind my voice. I do have a little bit of a sore throat. So that's why I sound a little different today. Okay, there we go. So we get that on. Okay, so that goes there, and then what you do is once that goes in place, then you twist this thing around over here, and that tightens that up. Okay, so that's good. So that basically tightens it up, and that's what that looks like. So here's the thing, like I said, it's good to buy something cheap, test it out, because one of the issues with the optic on top of your carry handle, right? Like I said, the carry handle was designed to carry your optic, is that now I do have the benefit of I can still see my iron sights in here, but if I want to see my look through the scope, I have to raise my head up. So basically I'm putting my jaw on, I'm putting my jaw on the stock so I can get my eye into the right position, so I can see through my scope. And I don't love that idea. So again, this is why, you know, sometimes it's worth just getting a cheap version of something to try it out and see if it's something that you're gonna like or not gonna like. I mean, I have, like 5 years ago when I was using this, I was still able to hit targets at 200 yards with this, so it works. It's just that it doesn't have the mil dots, and I don't know how accurate this range adjustment is going to be over here. I got to take that to a different range, which now, like, I'm interested in doing this. I'm going to take this to a different range. I am going to test this out, but you do have to put your jaw, you know, you got to raise your head up from normally where you would have your cheek, right? Because here you go, you got the soft padded part of your cheek, which absorbs the vibration a little bit better. When you lift your head up and now you got your jaw on the stock, I mean, this is bone over here. The vibration from the recoil is going to vibrate through your head a bit more. Okay, so, but there it is. I think it's really cool. You know, it's kind of fun. Like, I haven't used this in like at least 3 years, and it's like all of a sudden I pull this out and it's like, wow, I got a new toy to play with here, you know, and it didn't cost me anything because I already had it. So fun stuff. And like I said, I got the oh, the other cool thing is when I bought this scope, it also came with this rail over here, which basically I can take this off and I can put this rail, which has a Picatinny rail, through that hole and mount that on top of the carry handle, and then I can just use a regular red dot with this. So you know, it wasn't terrible for the $55 that I paid for it at the time. And then the other cool thing is, like I said, I got the bayonet lug over here. I have done a little bit of playing around with this using the light at night. That, you know, there can be a little bit of conflict between this and the sling. They kind of work, but like just barely. Okay, but it is a little bit close to the sling over here. They do make other bayonet lugs that have holes attached to the luggage, to the rail itself, so that you would mount the sling onto that instead of this. However, it's still, you know, I mean, things can still kind of get in the way. But the main reason why I wanted this is for this. Because sometimes, you know, like I might go into the woods, let's say 2,000 feet or something. If I'm going into the woods like you know, like 2,000, you know, like 1,000 yards or something, I don't want to carry a backpack or sandbags, you know, so it's really convenient to, you know, bring this bipod with you, because this is really light. Okay, I just got this bipod. I want to do a separate review on this after I had a little bit more shooting time with this, because I like it because it has this knob over here, so I don't have to use an Allen key. It just unscrews off. I can do that with my hand without having to use an Allen key. Okay, tighten that back up a little bit, and I can just stick this in my pocket, and that's good. I can walk through the woods like this, and it's, you know, it's not clunky, it's not sticking around. So yeah, this is really cool. So like I said, the nice thing about this is like, it's like, wow, I got new toys to play with, and it didn't cost me anything, except the bayonet lug was like $13 at Botoc. And this was $20. Like I said, this is a great deal. I'm gonna do a separate review on this. I got 2 of these. These were $20 at Amazon. I've got lots of bipods, but so far I like this one the best. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you're subscribed to all my channels, because I try to stay ahead of the YouTube censors. On YouTube, I got Absolute Gun Rights, I got Pocono Shooting, and I got the original Safa channel, which goes back to 2006. And then I also, on the uncensored platforms, on Odyssey, on Pocono Tactical, on Rumble, on Pocono Guns, and on BitChute, I'm also Pocono Tactical. We'll talk again. And also, I'm going to be probably doing at least another 2 videos. Before I go, I'm going to be doing at least another 2 videos using this gun with the iron sights that I have in mind. Some cool stuff that I want to show you guys. So look for that coming up.